If you're just getting started on rings, this is the right video for you. You've just bought your rings. First thing to do, observe them, relish in their quality. Plywood. This is a done for you, decided program that you can run through as your first session for rings. Let's start with the first exercise. 10 seconds for 3 sets of a support hold. A support hold is when you're above the rings and you're holding your body weight with straight arms, shoulders pushed down, elbow locked straight, and ideally crunching in your abs. Keep the rings close to the body. 2 common ones are lack of stability, so it's going to be hard to control, and the rings wanting to go away from your body. So you want to pull the rings in against, and you either do this body weight or you want to use enough assistance with your feet that you can do this steady for 10 seconds. If I go up and my arms start bending and the rings go away, I need to find a version of feet assistance that lets me feel like my upper body is doing most of the work, but I can get that 10 seconds in. Challenging, but doable. You'll need to feel that lack of stability and get used to it as your first obstacle for rings progression. Second exercise, we just need enough room so that if we are upside down on the rings, our head won't be painting the canvas. We need to get upside down. And I know that's going to be scary to begin, but there's a few ways we can make this much more approachable. The first one, bent in the arms, pulling down on the rings, kick my legs up as I extend my elbows. Replay that if you need. What can happen when we first do this is something like this, where we extend the arms too early and we don't understand or feel that inversion of going backwards, looking overhead, trying to get up. So if your movements are looking like this, and you're not starting to get that invert, we want to put the rings behind us. We want to keep our butt as high in the air as possible, and we want to lean our weight forward so that we feel that our upper body is taking weight. So if I let go here, I'd fall on my face. You want that feeling. From here, I want to get my chest as close to the feet as possible. I'm holding my body weight, remember, with my arms. I kick up with one leg and then the other, and that gets me upside down. Let that be your first victory on the rings. Just getting upside down is enough. The goal being just to get comfortable getting upside down. The lower the rings, the easier it will be. If you really do struggle with this, it's about elevating the feet. You can see if I've elevated the feet here and I go upside down, I actually don't need to do a single bit of kick up. I'm already in the position of being upside down, aided by just raising the feet. Progress to going lower and lower. The next step would be to extend the legs straight and hold an inverted straight position. Some call that a candle. You'll feel there's more stability going on when you do that. And again, you can spend 10 seconds holding that position before you come down. You've just worked on 2 skills unique to the rings. We're now going to do some strength in the form of pushing and pulling on the rings. They should feel. You want to find a variation that is doable for a higher repetition range of 8 to 12 reps, but you want to do it on the rings and understand how to progress and regress the difficulty. So we're going to stay on these rings and we'll do a row. So this is our pulling exercise. We don't jump straight to pull-ups or chin-ups. We're going to stay more on the horizontal plane for these push and pulls. For our row, we're going to keep it quite simple. We want our legs together, our legs straight. We want our shoulders in depression, so that means pushing your shoulders down away from your ears, and we're trying to pull our shoulders back behind us. That's called shoulder retraction. If that's a little bit too much lingo, just think of proud through your chest, and that can help solve some of those problems, or at least that cue can make the shoulders do what you want them to do. From this position here, squeeze your butt, so you're pushing your hips towards the ceiling as well, and pull to your chest. Just a neutral position on the rings so the palms are facing each other. If you wanted to make this more of a challenge, you would go more towards a complete horizontal position, and instead of pulling to your chest, you could pull to your lower ribs, and that will involve your lats a lot more. To make this easier, you would just walk it further out so you are more upright when you do your pull. It's not like the go-to regression, but you can also bend the legs instead of having them locked straight, and you might find the angle you were at with straight legs is now a bit more achievable for you to do. Our next one is our push over on the rings. Why did I say that as if these are rings? This is where we lower the rings down and we're doing a horizontal push. Now, this is the same ways to regress. You just want to be more upright to make the push-up more achievable, and lower down, more horizontal, to make it more of a challenge. Same thing exists as well, where you can go from your feet is harder and to your knees is going to be easier. Pick a variation where you can do 8 to 12 repetitions, where you're getting your chest level with the rings, keeping the rings palms facing each other. And we're going to add one little addition, is when you lock out at the top of every rep, try to turn the rings out. This will be our first introduction to ring turn out. We lower down, press, and ring turn out at the top of every rep. And then we finish on one more ring specific position, is a false grip. Holding onto the ring here is a standard grip, and then getting this part of the wrist up and on top, that's our false grip. Now, the false grip is going to give us access to skills like muscle ups and iron cross later down the track, but we want to learn how to do that from the beginning, because the false grip is a mix of conditioning and strength. Before we do the false grip, we need to chalk up. Do you have chalk? If not, if I've had the time to put an affiliate link in the description, go and grab chalk through that. It really helps me out, but if not, just grab some chalk. Chalk up this part of the wrist here, as well as the whole hand. Raise your rings up a bit higher. Get the false grip in. Now, the hardest part about the false grip is holding it with your elbows locked, because you actively have to flex your forearm. The way that involves your forearm muscles and the biceps, they don't want to lock out in that flexed position. So that is your goal, is working your way towards lockout with the false grip and with body weight. And you want to look to hold that for 10 seconds for 3 sets. Initially, you might have to hold like this with your feet assisting. Initially, you might only be able to do it with elbows bent, but you gradually want to work towards the elbows locked out and body weight. We'll recap. We did support position for 10 seconds for 3 sets. We then did our inversion on the rings. Just look at getting inverted as a victory. But if that is, you can do it, look to hold the candle for 10 seconds for 3 sets. We then move to our rows and our push-ups, which you can do all 3 sets of the row, all 3 sets of the push, or you can superset them, do them back to back to back until you've done 3 sets, 8 to 12 repetitions, and then finish with the false grip hang, 10 seconds for 3 sets, working towards body weight with the elbow completely locked out. Keep doing that for 2 to 3 weeks, for 2 to 3 sessions a week, and let me know how you go. Other programs in the description, and I'll see you for the next one.
Hell yeah.
And then he's got nothing to say. Okay, ready?